What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ryan, and I am your bearded nootropics information divulger, enthusiast divulger. Thanks so much for being with me. Check us out on the web, livecortex.com. Remember, we just made it so that all of our YouTube videos are searchable and post as blog posts at livecortex.com/blog. So if you go to the footer of livecortex.com, you can actually search any compound you want and then get a list of all of our videos on that compound. They're all at livecortex.com/blog. Recently added, totally awesome. People love it. Check us out on Facebook. Facebook.com/Cortex Stacks is where we are at. 4 products support this broadcast. Here they are. Elite level nootropic products. All right, number 1, we have a stack, a nootropic stack. It's called Cortex. It's an exceptionally strong stack in the eyes of our users. I mean, look, this is the thing that I always tell people. In the beginning, when I was thinking about formulating a product, like, we're not one of those fly-by-the-night supplement companies that's like, let's just create something that has a little research behind it and may work for some people and not for others. My thinking was literally like, if we create the best nootropic stack ever, the rest of the company and how everything works out will take care of itself. And that's exactly what's happened so far. The Cortex stack is awesome. Not only that, I took it for every day for probably about 9 months straight when I was trying, when I had the formula like figured out. And then I realized like it basically was like modafinil for me. It's super strong. Get Cortex at livecortex.com. If you use the coupon code 5 right now, FIVE, you can get a bottle for $28. If you need my help personally in anything related to nootropics, we have a consulting service. We help people figure out stacks that work well for them. Buy that at livecortex.com. If you're new to nootropics, 2 options. You got the book Smarter, Better, Faster, which teaches you everything. If you're new, like that's where you have to begin. It's digital and downloadable. Or the Nootropic Starter Pack, which is a bottle of our stack Cortex plus, really, eyelash in my eye, surprise, plus Smarter, Better, Faster all in a package. Get all that stuff at livecortex.com. Okay, so look, I get it oftentimes. I get emails about nootropics, and then the potential for failing drug tests because you're taking certain nootropic compounds. And I've really never been able to explain it other than there's probably structural similarities because people actually have taken drug tests and tested positive for crazy things, but they didn't take those crazy things, but they were taking nootropic compounds. And I've always sort of chalked it up to structural similarities between the nootropic compound and like the drug in question. And so probably the drug tests are finding some of those structural similarities and identifying those compounds as the actual drug. Now that's obviously pretty ridiculous, right? Because that's a false positive, and there seems like there'd be like this large possibility for people to fail drug tests when they're just taking supplements and they're not taking actual drugs. How it gets a little different is because nootropics, I mean, they're different than regular supplements. They work directly on neurochemistry. I can't really call them psychoactive, but they are neuroactive. And so that's probably what we're looking at here. But I did dig a little deeper and found a pretty good explanation for it because a user reported in that they failed a drug test. They tested positive for amphetamines, and they're not taking amphetamines, but they are taking Aniracetam. Okay, so I'm going to read to you what somebody else has to say about that in Longevity, which is a sort of a life longevity forum, all things life, longevity, and health. And these guys are super smart. I mean, these are the real researchers for a lot of the information that's come out now. So much anecdotal experience on nootropics, on longevity. It goes like this. Okay, so I did some research. And by the way, this is the same kind of situation that I'm running into. Someone running into a false positive on a drug test for amphetamines. They didn't take amphetamines, but they were taking racetams. I did some research. I read up on how the amphetamine test works and a list of possible false positives. I typed in the chemical names to see a picture of the structures on chemfinder.com. So again, looking at the structure of the nootropic versus the structure of the drug in question that you might be testing positive for. Based on what I read and considering I'm going into my organic 2 final with an A average so far, so knows his stuff on chemistry, I would place my money on yes, it is the Aniracetam that is causing the false positive. If you view some of the structures of false positive chemicals, for instance, I'm going to jack this up, methozophenamine, I don't know what that is. You will notice distinct structural similarities coming up that would probably bind to the test strip as well as amphetamine would. In this case, both have an ancel group. I don't think it's the racetam part in particular, the last tam ring, but rather the combination of the amine part of the last ham ring with the methoziphenyl group. I definitely did not explain this as good as I should have, but in either case, I would argue that yes, it's the Aniracetam. I think that's a great explanation for it, honestly. To simplify it, there's structural similarities between Aniracetam and amphetamines, potentially. And there's probably structural similarities between certain other nootropics and certain other tests, drugs that are tested on drug tests. And it just so happens that the things that they're looking for in some of these drugs are present in racetams or other nootropic compounds, and that's why it's coming up. How crazy and random is that? But that's probably the case. I mean, look, if you haven't taken amphetamines and are testing positive for amphetamines, you know, but you have taken Aniracetam, that's got to be it. Structural similarities. The thing that I can say is you just want to, if you know you're taking a drug test or something anytime soon, I know these things are random. You probably just want to stick to non-racetam nootropic compounds, yohimbine, theacrine, alcar, things of this nature. You can shoot for tyrosine, and basically some of the either the non-neurotransmitter modifying nootropic compounds like alpha-lipoic acid, or just, you know, the ones that modify neurotransmitters but are just super unlikely to have structural similarities to some drugs, things like yohimbine. I mean, you'd probably be okay taking yohimbine, and that is like a awesome nootropic. Same thing with uridine monophosphate, same thing with all the choline sources, and I kind of would just sort of stop there. If you want a list of like great stacks that aren't racetams, just buy the Nootropic Stacks for the business professional. We have a lot of stacks in there that you can kind of get ideas from. But I hope that helps, because I get that email probably like 3 times a month, and so, you know, people can refer to this video when thinking about that, okay? Thanks so much for watching. Remember, the Cortex stack right now, $28 if you use the coupon code 5, F-I-V-E, at livecortex.com. If you need my help personally on any of this stuff, basically our consulting service, we help people figure out stacks that work for them and then kind of give them a schedule on how to take those stacks appropriately to get the best results. Get the consulting service at livecortex.com. If you're new to nootropics, Smarter, Better, Faster is your first option. You got to get that book and you've got to read it. It's digital, won't take you long. The other option is the Nootropic Starter Pack, which gets you Smarter, Better, Faster in digital form, as well as a bottle of our Stack Cortex. Totally awesome package. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll talk to you next time. My name is Ryan Michael Ballo. For 6 years, my sole mission has been to improve the performance of my brain. This is why I created Cortex. My mission was to build a nootropic stack that gave me extreme focus, powerful motivation, and a heightened cognitive state. And after years of experimentation and a comprehensive beta testing protocol, and putting together the most powerful nootropic compounds on the planet, I found what I was looking for.